Ever get that feeling like some mysteries are just begging to be explored?
Mm-hmm.
Today we're diving deep into one that's baffled scholars and honestly kind of stoked some conspiracy theories for over a century. The Voynich Manuscript. You've got your research ready, right?
Yep.
Perfect, because we're here to help sift through all the theories, dead ends, maybe uncover some fascinating truths along the way.
What I find remarkable about this manuscript, it's not just some dusty old book, you know.
Right, right.
It seems to actively defy our understanding. We're talking about a text that stumped code breakers, linguists, heck, even artificial intelligence has taken a crack at it.
Yeah,
It's a puzzle that seems to resist every single attempt to solve it.
and it all starts with this incredible find way back in 1912. Okay, so picture this. Wilfred Voynich, he's a rare book dealer, and he stumbles upon this manuscript. Officially, it gets cataloged as Benecke MS 408. But get this, it looks ancient. You've got these
Yeah.
beautifully detailed illustrations,
Hmm.
plants, astronomical charts, even women bathing.
Oh,
But
wow.
the text itself,
Yeah.
totally alien. No one, and I mean no one, has been able to decipher it.
And that alien writing, as you called it, that's what we call Voynichese. It's thousands of characters, no clear alphabet, and absolutely zero confirmed translations.
So are you saying it's like trying to piece together a global conversation, but from random snippets of like 100 different languages?
That's a great way to put it, honestly.
Okay, so total mystery language, got it.
Hmm.
But at least we know it's old, right?
Uh-huh.
Please tell me we at least know that much.
We do, we do. Radiocarbon dating actually places its creation somewhere between 1404 and 1438. Smack dab in the early 15th century.
Okay.
And here's the kicker. The materials themselves, the ink, the paint, even that calf skin it's written on, all of it lines up perfectly with that time period.
Okay, so we can rule out a modern hoax then,
Right.
right? Because honestly, that's always my first thought with these things.
It's very tempting to think someone was pulling a fast one, but all the evidence points to, nope, this is the real deal. Just imagine the sheer effort to fake something like this back then. The materials alone would have been ridiculously difficult and expensive to even try and replicate.
Okay, so not a hoax, but that just makes it even more intriguing, right? So if it's not a prank, what are the leading theories on this thing?
Well, let's just say there's no shortage of ideas. Some scholars, they believe that it's a cipher, like a secret code designed to protect some kind of valuable knowledge. Others propose that it could be a constructed language, something like a predecessor to Esperanto, created for a specific purpose.
We've got to address the elephant in the room here, or maybe the alien spaceship in the room, should I say. Because, some people think it's extraterrestrial.
Clears throat. Of course, of course. And while that's definitely fun to consider, it's important to remember that the most likely explanation is often the most, shall we say, grounded one.
Fair enough. But here's where it gets really interesting for me. I read that the text itself, it isn't random gibberish. It actually shows patterns found in natural languages. So it is communicating something.
Exactly.
You just don't have the Rosetta Stone to translate it yet.
That's what's so tantalizing about it. It's like the Voynich manuscript is speaking a language, but one that's been lost to time. And to add another layer of complexity, studies indicate that at least 5 different scribes worked on this manuscript.
Wait, hold on. 5 different scribes.
At least.
So it's not just one person's secret code,
Yeah,
but potentially a collaborative effort.
precisely. Which begs the question, what kind of project was so complex, so secretive, that it required the combined efforts of multiple individuals, possibly even using, different encoding methods?
This is like a real-life Da Vinci Code. Are you serious? Okay, so we've got these potential authors, we've got ciphers, constructed languages, multiple scribes. What about those illustrations? They have to hold some clues, right? Those plants, those stars, even the bathing ladies, what are they trying to tell us?
Well, some scholars think those illustrations point to the manuscript being some kind of medical or alchemical text. Many of the drawings seem to depict plants, processes, things associated with herbal remedies.
And the bathing ladies? Some kind of ancient spa treatment?
Well, there's speculation that it might relate to, ancient beliefs about the healing properties of water.
Fascinating.
It's definitely fascinating to try and consider the connection between those illustrations and the text itself.
So we've got this beautifully illustrated book
Yeah.
written in a language, or maybe languages that no one can understand.
Right.
Have there been any attempts to decipher the Voynich manuscript, that have actually gotten anywhere?
Oh, absolutely. People have been trying to crack this code for over a century.
I bet.
One of the more well-known attempts involved a researcher named William Newbold back in the 1920s.
Okay.
He had this theory about micrography.
Micrography.
Yeah, the idea that the real message was hidden in these tiny markings only visible with, like, magnifying glass.
Oh, wow. Talk about dedication. Did it pan out?
Well, it turned out to be a case of good intentions meeting a dead end, unfortunately.
Hey.
Those markings were just, you know how ink dries kind of funny on calf skin?
Right, right.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Okay.
But, you know, every attempt, even the ones that fail, they teach us something new.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about this Anthony Asham connection I came across?
Ah, yes. That's a theory put forth by a researcher named Lionel Strong.
Okay.
He believed that the manuscript's author was a 16th century English writer, Anthony Asham.
Okay.
And he even connected it to some missing astrological content from Asham's published work.
Interesting, although it seems like we haven't really gotten any closer to a definitive answer.
Well, what's fascinating about the Voynich Manuscript is that its history, it's just as compelling as the mystery that it holds. You know what I mean?
Okay.
This book has traveled through time, leaving its mark on history.
Okay, spill the tea. Where has this thing been all these years?
Well, let's just say it has a rather impressive provenance.
Ooh.
It was once owned by Emperor Rudolph II, who, rumor has it, paid an exorbitant amount for it back in the 16th century.
Wow.
It's even spent some time tucked away in Jesuit libraries.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine the secrets those library walls could tell?
It's like something out of a Dan Brown novel.
Right.
And now it's residing at Yale's Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library, is that right?
Exactly. And thankfully, researchers haven't given up on decoding it.
Yeah.
Today, we have cutting-edge technology at our fingertips.
Right.
And they're using it all. Statistical modeling, comparisons to known languages, even artificial intelligence.
Wow. So have those high-tech approaches yielded any breakthroughs?
Some of the findings are pretty incredible.
All right.
Remember those patterns we talked about?
Yeah.
The ones that resemble natural languages?
Yeah.
Well, researchers have actually used those patterns to pinpoint what they believe could be keywords in the text.
So there's hope yet. Are we on the verge of finally cracking the Voynich code?
It's a bit more complicated than that. Even if we can identify individual words, understanding their meaning within the broader context, that's a whole other challenge.
Right.
It's like having a few pieces of a 10,000-piece puzzle, you know?
Yeah.
It gives you a glimpse of the picture, but you're still a long way from seeing the whole thing.
Right. Speaking of those glimpses, what about that proto-Romance language theory that was in the news recently?
Ah, you're talking about Gerard Cheshire's claim.
Yes.
He made headlines when he announced he had deciphered the entire manuscript,
Wow.
even published translations.
Oh, really?
His theory was that it was written for a Spanish queen.
That sounds almost too good to be true, was it?
Let's just say the scholarly community wasn't exactly booking flights to Stockholm to nominate him for any awards.
Oh, no.
His methodology, it relied really heavily on intuition,
Okay.
and it lacked the kind of rigorous linguistic analysis that Voynich researchers, that's kind of their standard.
Yeah, right. So back to square one then.
Not really.
No.
Remember what I said about learning from every attempt?
Yeah.
Even when a theory doesn't hold up, it helps us to refine our approach.
Oh,
See
wow.
the problem from a new angle.
Yeah. This whole thing is really a testament to human curiosity, isn't it?
I think so.
And our drive to uncover the unknown.
Absolutely.
Think about it. Even if we never completely decipher the Voynich manuscript, its value, as a historical artifact, it's undeniable.
It's a window into medieval thought.
Exactly.
The lost world of knowledge, a time when, science and magic weren't so clearly defined.
Totally. So we've got this book, potentially multiple authors, maybe even multiple languages or codes being used.
And that's where it gets even wilder.
Oh, no, and why now?
Researchers have actually identified what they believe are two distinct languages within the manuscript,
What?
referred to as Voynich A and Voynich B.
Get out of here.
They differ in vocabulary and appear in different sections of the manuscript, which leads some to believe there could be, a division of content.
Hold on. Are we saying we could have a botanical encyclopedia in one section?
It's possible.
An astrological guide in another?
Yeah.
All jumbled together in this cryptic manuscript?
It's definitely a possibility. And don't forget those 5 scribes we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
What if they were each specialists, in different fields,
Okay.
each contributing to this larger project?
Oh, my God.
It's like a medieval think tank, all huddled over this book, encoding their knowledge.
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Okay, my brain is officially blown. This is Beyond fascinating. You know, after hearing all of this, I can't help but wonder if maybe,
Yeah.
just maybe, we've been approaching the Voynich manuscript the wrong way this whole time.
What do you mean?
Like, what if it's not a code meant to be cracked in the traditional sense?
Okay.
You know, we've been so focused on just deciphering the words themselves
Yeah.
that we might be missing like a larger, more abstract message.
You're suggesting that there's meaning kind of baked into the structure of the language itself?
Yeah. The patterns, the visual elements, rather than a literal word-for-word translation.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, think about it.
Right.
We've explored ciphers, constructed languages,
Right.
even the possibility of multiple authors and languages, all within this one manuscript.
Right.
But what if it's something else entirely?
Okay.
Something that speaks to a different way of thinking, a different way of viewing the world, even.
It's an intriguing thought.
Right.
And it's not entirely unprecedented when you think about it. Think
No.
about ancient mystical texts, you know?
Right.
Religious iconography, even early musical notation.
Yeah.
These things weren't always meant to be interpreted literally,
Right.
but rather to evoke a certain feeling or understanding
Indeed.
that transcended language.
Yes, like it's a visual and linguistic puzzle,
Yeah,
but it's designed to unlock a different way of seeing the world.
it's possible.
And maybe that's why it's resisted traditional decipherment for so long.
Yeah.
We're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, so to speak.
Right.
Trying to apply our modern understanding of language to something that operates on a completely different level.
It's a humbling thought for sure.
It really is.
You know, we often assume that our way of understanding the world,
Right.
our ways of communicating are the most advanced.
Of course.
But what if the Voynich manuscript is proof that other ways of knowing, other ways of encoding knowledge
Right.
existed long before us?
It's like the manuscript is a challenge, daring us to expand our own understanding of language, of knowledge,
Yeah.
even of consciousness itself.
It makes you appreciate the mystery of it all.
It really does.
The allure of this, centuries-old puzzle.
So what do you say, listener? Are you up for the challenge? Go back, take another look at those articles, those strange symbols, illustrations.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll see something that everyone else has missed.
Maybe you hold the key
Right.
to unlocking this mystery.
The Voynich manuscript, it isn't just waiting to be deciphered, it's waiting to be understood.
And who knows, that journey of understanding might just lead us all to a whole new way of seeing the world.
Until next time, keep exploring those mysteries.